Please bet on football games. Please bet on football games.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Please Bet on Football Games podcast. I am your host Alex, here with the on-air talent Joe. Joe, how's it going today?
You owe me fucking cigarettes.
I will face west next time I have one.
East?
Yeah, there you go. I was thinking the westerlies. The wind will
Hot
take it.
start. We're off to a fucking hot start. And I've demonetized us on YouTube because the NFL wants to, so I've just decided I'll work with them.
Well,
we had another winning week.
I was about to say, I might not be starting hot with words, but we did start pretty hot with bets.
Yeah. So let's just run through.
Yeah, all right. So we bet 7.5 units. We won 3.96.
Woo!
We won 2/3 of our bets.
Yes.
So first up,
66.7% winning percentage with an ROI of 52.83. Is that good?
yeah, I think that's pretty good. Admittedly, a tiny sample size, but it's how we want to start.
Oh, it's a beautiful way to build up the bankroll.
Let's talk about some of those games. See how legitimate or fraudulent the results were. First up, we'll get a loser out of the way. We had Pittsburgh over the New York Giants. We took a -3. That was a 1-unit even odds bet. They won by 2.
Alex, you need a cigarette because it was the Jets.
My goodness.
You're good. This game, we deserved to lose because we handicapped it completely wrong. We basically thought the Jets would never score, and the Jets could not stop scoring. Justin Fields made that one nice pass, and that was literally all they needed because they ran the ball at will. There's a very cute, fluffy cat in an advertisement on our screen, which we are sharing with you, the viewer. I am sharing the screen, right? I didn't forget.
Yeah, I see it.
Sick. This cat is so fluffy, and I can't stop looking at it instead of thinking about football. I'm not even a cat guy. I don't like cats, but as a good cat. Football. Justin Fields played a lot better than I expected. I gave him a C- for the day. And frankly, I expected an F triple minus. So mishandicapped the quarterback. I thought the Steelers defense would be really good, and it was terrible. Both of the edges were just constantly looking to go get sacks and abandoning their rush lanes, and you could just run right through them. We even you could say it's a bad beat because we lost due to a 2-point conversion, but we're lucky to be here because the Steelers needed a fumbled punt or kick return just to win. So I think we deserve to lose that bet. I don't really know what to make of either of these teams right now. That is just.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I think, we handicapped it wrong. The Steelers looked like kind of a disaster on defense, and the Jets looked better than I expected. We'll see how that continues to play out. For now, I'm probably just going to try and stay away from these teams.
Yeah.
But I think just loss, we deserved it.
Next up.
But let's talk about some wins. We had 2 best bets, the first of which was the Jacksonville Jaguars over the Carolina Panthers. It was a -3 2-unit bet at -105. We won 1.9 units on that one. Not to steal your thunder, but just.
Yeah, no, that was the easiest bet of all time. I think it was ESPN put out a graphic of most entertaining games of the week based upon what went down in the games, and nothing happened in this game because it was a railroading from the very start. Ted McMillan looked sick as hell, but yeah, no, Bryce Young is bad. Dave Canales is not a needle mover as an offensive play caller, and the Jaguars are going to be low-key really fucking good. And gambling Twitter needs to stop pretending that the Panthers are going to happen. I know that you love the hedge fund manager, billionaire, trillionaire owner, and I know that you love Eric Eager because he's one of you, but both of those people are clearly very bad at their NFL football jobs. They've proven it for years now.
Yeah, I don't think much more needs to be said about that one. Hopefully keep getting good lines on Jacksonville. Next up, another win. We had Cleveland over Cincinnati +6. That was a 1-unit bet at -110. We won 0.91 units. Cleveland lost by 1.
Yeah, lost by 1 with a missed extra point. Was it 2 missed chip shot field goals?
I think just 1. I think it was 4 points that the kicker took off the board.
Okay, and then even despite the 4 kicker points they lost, they probably still would have won it if an insane fluke interception didn't occur at the very last moment.
I mean, there were 2 of those.
Yep.
So, I mean, bad luck, Browns luck, whatever you want to call it. But That defense looked insane.
Well, and that was our handicap, is that we didn't think the Bengals could score, and we didn't think that the Bengals could ever get a stop. And both of those were kind of true, and we fucking won. And we should have won even more.
I will say their defense looked better than expected. Now, maybe that's going against the Browns' offense, where their line looked pretty. Flacco operates the offense, but he also missed throws.
Yeah, he does. He does that. He always had.
He's still a 40-year-old man back there. So, I don't know. Well, to be seen on Cincinnati, but I think we handicapped it perfectly. Cleveland always gives them incredible fits, and Myles Garrett destroys games against them.
Yeah.
Good win.
Good win.
On to our other best bet of the week. We had Tampa Bay over Atlanta, and the other of our two best bets, we had Tampa Bay over Atlanta -2, 2-unit bet at -115 odds, and we won 1.74 units.
I'm torn because I do think we deserve to win this bet, but also we were wrong in our handicap.
Yeah. And we did get a little lucky.
The things that we were wrong about, if I had known, let's just put it out there. We thought possibly Todd Bowles changed the defense up a little bit. He didn't at all. And we thought possibly the offense would be more vertical. It wasn't at all. We thought it would at least be pretty similar to Liam Cohen's, and it fucking wasn't. And then also, obviously, implicit in every Buccaneers bet is the prediction that Baker Mayfield will continue to be an excellent, excellent quarterback who is valued like a mediocre one. And in this particular game, he was pretty mediocre until the very end when it mattered, and then he was excellent again. So I don't necessarily think we were lucky to win. I don't necessarily think we shouldn't have made the bet. I do feel guilty having won the bet considering things didn't go quite how I expected.
Yeah. And Younghoe Koo, who's a really good kicker, missing that field goal.
But that so did Jake Camarda. He missed a short field goal and he's an all-pro kicker. So that's the punter. Who's the fuck? McLaughlin. Whatever the fuck. I don't care about kickers.
Yeah, McLaughlin has done that throughout his career.
No, he didn't miss a kick last year.
Yeah, but I mean, this is not his first team.
Fair.
He was with Cleveland for a while and he was not very good. And he's bounced around a little bit. Whereas Koo's been pretty steady his whole career.
I think he's one of the top 5 most accurate kickers ever.
Yeah.
And the Falcons just brought in a guy to compete with him because they're sick of him.
The life of a kicker, man.
It's just not fair.
Somewhat just, somewhat fraudulent. We'll just kind of leave that one. Either way, the money still cashes and it counts as a win.
Yep.
Then next up, a small loss. We had Seattle over San Francisco at +2.5. That was a half-unit bet. We lost. I think they lost by 4.
Yeah, we got fucked. For those of you who didn't watch the game, the last 2 drives of the game were the 49ers stumbling their way down the field, and then Brock Purdy throwing, I believe it was even on 4th down, might not have been, throwing a ball that went through the hands of Tariq Woolen, got bobbled by a backup tight end, and then he caught it and barely got his feet down in bounds at the very back of the end zone to go score the go-ahead touchdown. So that touchdown was insanely lucky. It should have been an interception that ended the game, and the Seahawks should have won. Then the Seahawks get the ball back. Sam Darnold makes a beautiful throw to Jackson Smith-Njigba that puts them in the red zone, 10-yard line. And Sam Darnold promptly fumbles, losing the game. So
he does that though.
2 different. It's not like Sam Darnold played well throughout the game. He played exactly as we would have expected. So both of the last 2 drives, some fluke bullshit fucked us. I would make that bet again 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, I would definitely make that bet again. I mean, I think some of it is maybe hard to predict or against trends, but some of it's just that's football. And
yeah, bullshit's gonna happen in football, but that was bullshit. Speaking of bullshit,
I mean, the Darnold fumble obviously sucks, but he did that a lot even last year. The second half of that season with the Vikings, he was turning the ball over in the red zone every week.
True, but I will always
agree. Tariq Woolen just missing that ball was nuts.
It touched his fingerprints.
Yeah, but I think this is kind of in a little bit of that same realm as the Tampa Atlanta game, in my opinion. I think we got lucky on some things and then unlucky on other things. This one probably a little more unlucky than lucky, whereas Tampa, we maybe a little bit more lucky than unlucky.
I will grant you this. We were fortunate that the 49ers, for some reason, hadn't yet cut Jake Moody. Yeah. Just a terrible kicker. He's missed half of his last 25 kicks. Or, a lot of them were blocked, but they didn't go in. I'm just gonna, that one was bullshit. Executive veto, that was bullshit.
All right. Well, fair enough. I definitely make the bet again.
Yeah, that means that it was bullshit that we lost.
Yeah. I think sometimes it's just like you make a bet that you feel solid about and just a few things don't go your way and you lose the bet, and like that's betting
Yeah.
on football.
Well, yeah. So to your point, it wasn't a bad beat. Like we didn't get fucked by a rogue number or some unheard of bullshit, but it was bullshit in that we were on the right side. The game played out as we expected. We were right until the very end when a super unlucky thing happened and cost us the game.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair.
But that is also how football works.
Yeah.
I'm not
And-
mad, but I would make the bet again. I think we're on the reason we do like the bullshit, not bullshit is like, are we handicapping these games right? Are we seeing it or are we getting lucky or getting unlucky?
Yeah.
Like that's a winning bet most of the time, but not this time.
On to our final bet as part of our picks. Don't worry, Joe, I won't forget about the cigarette bet.
You goddamn right you won't.
We had the Minnesota Vikings over the Chicago Bears. We had the Vikings -2. That was a 1-unit -110 bet. We won 0.91 units.
I honestly legitimately don't know what to do with this bet. Because again, I'd make this bet again tomorrow. If they played next week, I'm hammering the Vikings. They're a much better team.
Yeah.
But it was weird because everybody seems to focus on, okay, the discourse around this game is the worst that's ever existed. Everybody seems to be saying, one, Ben Johnson isn't the guy. He's a fraud. Two, JJ McCarthy was terrible for 3 quarters and then suddenly caught fire out of nowhere and turned it on and scored 21 points. Wrong. 3, Caleb Williams sucks and is not the guy. That part's right. What really happened is Ben Johnson schemed up a perfect first drive that even Caleb Williams couldn't fuck up, and he tried. Like, that first drive looked good on the broadcast angle. I did an all-22 breakdown today. Alex, he should have had 3 touchdowns that drive that he just didn't look at DJ Moore.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done a breakdown, but I've seen a handful of clips and threads about it, and it's just like wide open guys running that he just decides to throw to the flat for
Like,
3 yards and out of bounds.
It's crazy. It's not even, like, even when he's looking good, quote unquote, and like the offense is functioning, it's half as effective as it would be if he just knew what the fuck he was doing. I digress. JJ McCarthy wasn't bad for 3 quarters. He simply wasn't allowed to play football. Like, it was the craziest thing. People were quote tweeting a stat where they're like, oh, JJ McCarthy's 3 of 4 for 12 yards at the end of the first quarter. And they're like, LOL, he sucks. And it's like, he's had 4 dropbacks. 3 were complete. 1 was dropped by Justin Jefferson, which doesn't happen. So why are you like, where's the evidence that he sucks at all? There's no evidence whatsoever that he sucks. There's no evidence of anything. He hasn't done anything. He's been prohibited from doing things. You fucking morons. So that was stupid. And then Ben Johnson not being the guy. Why? Because he thought his professional kicker could kick the ball into the back of the end zone on a kickoff like every other kicker can? Because he kicked the ball and didn't give the Vikings the ball at the 40-yard line? Like, people are like, oh, they should have just given them the ball at the 40-yard line. Why? So you could get 1 extra clock stoppage so they could be in field goal range when they take the knee, because you didn't get a stop anyway. It was stupid. Well, they did get a stop, but intentionally, right? Like, the Vikings could have gone for that. If they got the ball at midfield, they would have. Regardless, Caleb Williams was the problem. There's dudes open. So, and then the fourth one is like, everybody loves Kevin O'Connell. We love Kevin O'Connell. For a moment there, I was fully converted. I was no longer gay. I don't like men's no more. I like women. Women. I am delivered. I was just going to keep on adding quotes from that clip until you broke, and you stayed solid the whole time, so I'm proud of you.
I'm strong, Joe.
Evidently, my feet are strong, Joe Rogan. There we go. I gotcha. Kevin O'Connell, yeah, Chappelle's best. Kevin O'Connell just shit the bed the entire first half, and we were DMing, and you were like, "What the fuck's going on?" And I'm like, "He's doing the thing he does, where he just he runs the ball until the very last second when it looks like he's not going to be able to pull off a win, and then he's like, okay, fine, I guess we'll throw the ball downfield to our All-Pro wide receiver, and then suddenly they score 21 points in the blink of an eye because he's really good at designing the pass game and Justin Jefferson's really good at executing it. And now they have JJ McCarthy, who's from clean pockets. He is stellar.
Yeah.
So everybody mistook that game completely. It didn't look how we expected. However, I walk away from that game ever the more confident that Minnesota's better because they just won pretty comfortably despite forfeiting the first half of the game.
Yeah, and like JJ McCarthy didn't look good in the first half. And even that pick 6 was pretty bad as well.
The pick 6 was very bad. bad. But
And
like
he was
didn't.
under pressure and he wasn't getting many opportunities, or when he was, it's like, all right, it's 3rd and 8.
Alex, he attempted 6 passes in the first half. Like,
Yeah.
he didn't look good, but he also didn't look bad because he didn't play football. He was a handoff machine.
Yeah, it's just the few throws that he did have, most of them weren't great. Like, even if they got to the receiver, it was a lot of stuff that was still kind of off target that the receiver would have had to make like a decent catch for. Whereas like in the post pick six, he was elite.
You're gonna make me pull up my fucking charts. You're gonna make me do it to him. This motherfucker acting up. I think he had one inaccurate pass in the first half.
I think we disagreed about one that you called a drop by Jefferson that I thought was behind him and low.
It was low, but Justin Jefferson catches that ball.
Fair, but it's still not like an
Fuck
accurate
me.
pass.
He had 3. But still, I mean, it's fucking 70%. It's fucking...
Yeah, no, I mean, I think he played really well, and it was a little bit of just getting comfortable and Cock trusting him.
Yeah, fucking C in the first half, A- in the second half, B overall.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. It took him a minute to settle in, but once he settled in, it was kind of like, oh, this guy's going to be good.
Either way, very confident that I would make that bet again. My computer is so laggy right now because it cannot handle all the screens I have going. Let's talk about the cigarette bet. Does this make me 5-0 or 6-0 in cigarette bets?
I thought I won one last year.
I think you might have.
I think
By the
I
way,
have one win.
The laminated cigarette is in a safe in my storage unit in Chicago.
But yeah, so on to the cigarette bet. Joe, we bet on the Sunday night football game. Joe took the Bills money line. I took the Ravens money line. For a moment there, it was looking like I was going to add another one to my very small list of wins, but Josh Allen happened.
I think that both of us quite exactly perfectly handicapped that game, because your handicap was Baltimore is just such a better roster. They're going to dominate in all facets that are not Josh Allen. And my handicap was counterpoint Josh Allen. And that is exactly what happened. For 90% of the game, Baltimore was like, oh, we could just run halfback dive. We can have our toddler call the plays. It doesn't matter. The Bills defense is stupid. The Bills defense is so slow it hurts. The Bills offense is archaic, and they're taking the ball out of Josh Allen's hands, making him throw all these screens and checkdowns when he's the best downfield thrower in the fucking world. Joe Brady, I was talking with a trusted confidant who's kind of famous, so I don't want to like say his name and stuff. I don't want to name drop, but he was like, I think Joe Brady's problem is that he wants to get a head coaching job, and he knows that it's going to be tough to convince people that he's the good one and it's not just Josh Allen. So he goes out of his way to design and call offensive plays that are very clearly the offensive coordinator, not the quarterback, making it work. And then when that fails, he says, fuck it, let Josh Allen ball, and then Josh Allen balls.
Yeah, I could absolutely see some truth to that. Did Josh McDaniels ever do that?
I don't think that you can call an offense that Tom Brady can't turn into something decent. I mean, Byron Leftwich tried. Byron Leftwich said, Tom, you get to throw the ball on 3rd and long, and that's it. And Tom said, here's the most passing yards in NFL history.
Yeah, well, I'm just thinking because Josh McDaniels was a guy that wanted a head coaching job for a very long time and had that exact problem of, is he actually a good coach or is he just the offensive coordinator for Tom Brady? And then he got head coaching jobs and it was like, no, he's just the offensive coordinator for Tom Brady.
Well, funny enough, he did actually get his last head coaching job and probably his final one when he started running the ball and taking it out of Tom's hands a lot that last year before he took off for Oakland in 2019. Food for thought. Anyway, we've recapped these bets way too much. Let's talk about week 2, which, spoiler alert, doesn't look sick.
Yeah, I feel like that happens a lot. They get a lot of the excitement in week 1, and then week 2 is a little bit of like iffier.
NGL, FRFR. Week 1 wasn't even the best fucking slate, but it is football.
Yeah, and they nailed it with the primetime games, so that always makes things feel like it was a better, like a more exciting week.
No cap. I'm going to talk like a Gen Z for the rest of this podcast until I can't.
Please don't.
I'm going to fucking do it. You can't stop me. I have it in my head now, and now it's bussing for real, for real.
All right. Do you want to talk about week 2?
Shit, I've already run out of words. Shit. That's very millennial of me.
I was about to say, you're going to immediately go into millennial stuff.
Yep.
Our Thursday night, week 2, we have the Washington Commanders going to play the Green Bay Packers. Currently, the Packers are -3.5.
I know what I want to do, but I don't know that I have the courage to do it. I think we should be betting on Jaden Daniels.
I think we should too. I was just like, I feel like the Packers defense. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself, but
No, do it. Do the podcast, which is talking about football.
I was gonna give you your chance to get first words in because I'm
No,
sure
dude.
you've thought about this game more than I have. But
Nope.
my knee-jerk reaction to it is that the Packers defense is going to be very aggressive, at least in the front seven, like they were last week. And the Commanders offense is perfectly made to mitigate a pass rush and take advantage of a weak secondary, which, the Packers probably think their secondary is better than we do, but I think that's the commies are going to be able to really stifle that pass rush and then just be able to run their screen heavy, give it to Debo and let him run around, throw some deep balls to McLaurin, and just frustrate him.
Yeah, I mean, like largely, I think I've established that I think that the Packers' defensive line and pass rush. Actually, I guess I haven't because the Micah Parsons trade happened after we last recorded.
Mm-hmm.
So, for those of you who are unaware, I think that the acquisition of Micah Parsons is a little overblown in Green Bay. Like, he's excellent. He's probably a top 3 edge rusher in the NFL, maybe even top 2. He's not Miles, but he could be anybody besides Miles.
Yeah, and then you get into the Aiden Hutchinson, Max Crosby, all very good, just a little bit different now they do it.
Yeah. So I don't think that he will change that much on their defense because they play pretty soft zones behind the defensive line. Rashawn Gary was already a really good edge, and like having 2, there's a compounding factor, but now they have no defensive interior.
Yeah.
And they have no linebackers. So like I'm just running the ball all the time. Unless I'm the Commanders and my passing game is a running game. Because again, like when evaluating how the Commanders match up against the defense, you just think, how does this defense stop mesh? And if they don't really have an answer for mesh, that's the game. Commanders score. Spoiler, bad linebackers don't stop mesh. Really, really, really good edge rushers don't affect mesh because it's mesh. It happens quick. You're throwing it right behind the ears of the defensive end, right in front of the nose or right behind the ass of the linebackers, and they can't catch up. So I like how mesh would work against Green Bay. I also think that Detroit is severely overrated. My takeaway from Green Bay versus Detroit was not, oh my God, Green Bay is so good. It is, holy shit, Ben Johnson was the absolute entirety of the Detroit Lions from pole to pole. Additionally, I think Jordan Love is eternally overrated, and he'll be playing against a zone defense that is not good but disciplined, and therefore he will make mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, I still worry about when the Packers are on offense because, yeah, Jordan Love is still overrated, but you're going to have a really well-coordinated, well-balanced attack against a not very good defense. The reason that I'm not as worried about it or still kind of want to bet on the Commanders is that we have 3.5, and I feel like the Commanders are going to be able to score often enough that it's going to be a close game that kind of comes down to the wire.
No, I agree. And generally, before the Micah Parsons trade, what do you think this line was?
I mean, probably pretty similar.
It was probably Packers like -2, and I think that we're moving the line up 1.5 through a key number or 2 of them over a negligible addition. Because the other thing is Micah Parsons is not Micah Parsons. He's Micah Parsons with a severe back injury who can basically only play on 3rd and long. The Commanders don't do 3rd and long. Pass rush doesn't affect the Commanders, period.
Mm-hmm.
Blitzing can, but primarily you beat the Commanders by being sound, tackling, and having a defensive coordinator that's smart enough to just stuff the run and press up on the receivers and say, Jaden Daniels, try to beat us fucking deep. You can't, you bitch. That's it. That's what you do. And like, people don't understand. Defensive coordinators in the league right now are so afraid of playing press coverage. They're so afraid of playing man coverage. They simply don't take away short routes. They don't force you to throw deep. It's the hardest thing to do in football. Make them do it. Do you hear the fucking cops outside just like playing songs with their sirens?
No, I don't. That sounds fun, though.
In New York, they don't just do like woo woo woo. They go like woo 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 woo. And if I was a child raised in New York, one of my many, many, many traumas that cripple me socially and mentally forever would certainly be thinking that there were ghosts everywhere because it sounds like spooky ghosts.
Maybe that's what they're trying to do, trying to make
Maybe
the criminals think they're spooky ghosts.
Maybe that's what Sam Darnold was seeing. No, I also like the Commanders here. It's a little bit of matchup problem. It's a little bit a perception problem. I think Green Bay is overrated. I don't know if I want to put it in just yet.
Yeah.
I expect a lot of regression from the Commanders as well. Like, these are 2 teams that I think are overrated, but I love their coaches.
Yeah. No, I think it's a lean right now. I mean, it's the Thursday night game. We don't have to get too crazy yet. I'm good to move on to Sunday and see what else we can look at.
Yeah, we'll throw that in a maybe pile. All right.
On to Sunday in the 12 o'clock hour, we start off with the New England Patriots going to play the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are -1.
Jesus fucking Christ. You know how sometimes you say, like, oh, beer is proof that God loves us and wants us to be happy, or shit like that?
Mhm.
This game is proof that the Jewish God is real and sometimes he needs us to suffer. 'Cause, I mean, we've got on one side a Patriots team running plays from 2012 and punting on every fourth down. On the other side, a talented Dolphins team full of people who are absolute head cases and probably psychopaths, led by their tiny quarterback with no discernible skill. The entire team gave up 2 months ago and we're 7 days into the season. Who will win? Only Satan. I mean, this game fucking sucks.
That was lovely. I don't want to bet on this game at all.
No, watching the Patriots for my Drake May breakdown, which apparently I can't monetize because the NFL doesn't like people to know what's going on in the games. The Patriots are a really bad roster. It turns out spending a shit ton of money in free agency on rotational players from decent teams is not a good way to build the cornerstones of your defense or offense. Turns out Stephon Diggs, yeah, he was kind of washed and then tore his Achilles. It's over. Or was it Achilles or ACL? It doesn't matter. Whatever the fuck it is, it's over. Josh McDaniels like legitimately is running plays that I remember running in Madden 25, which famously came out 12 years ago. His halfback screens are the exact same screen that I would spam in Madden 25 with Brock Osweiler on the Chargers. Yeah.
Oh, the Lobster Weiler. What a guy.
It was before he had ever started a game. This game is so old. These plays that Josh McDaniels are running are so old that they were cliche in a time when nobody knew that Brock Osweiler sucked. Think about that. Anyhow, the Dolphins, like, I think Mike McDaniel has just ran out of gimmicks and ways to trick you into forgetting that his quarterback can't play football. Like, there's only so many ways you can have an efficient offense with a quarterback who has a weak arm and is slow and is small and can't really think after the snap and isn't even particularly accurate, especially throwing more than 8 yards. It's very limiting. And for the last 3 years, Mike McDaniel has put together a way to make that score 30 points a game. And I think teams have kind of just realized, like, oh, crowd the box with zone defenders so that RPOs don't work and wheel routes aren't as effective.
I think it's also partially that, like you talked about, they've got a team of head cases that already gave up.
Definitely. And they have, namely Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to say what I was going to say. There were reports about Tyreek Hill today.
I saw some clips of him just like not knowing what the heck was going on in the game.
Yeah, well, there's also apparently some clips of him. Next game!
Next up,
I'm not commenting on an ongoing legal situation. I don't fucking know. Next game.
we have the Jacksonville Jaguars going to play the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are -3.
I think I like this one.
Yeah, I don't think we have to lean on this one.
Okay, I think it's very, very funny that PFF respects Myles Garrett so much that they gave Orlando Brown a fairly good grade for his game, despite getting dominated by Myles Garrett, because PFF must just be throwing their hands up like, well, yeah, what are you gonna fucking do? It's Myles Garrett. Like, yeah, the average offensive tackle does get their asshole reamed by Myles Garrett. I think there is so much value on this game, but I'm scared. I'm scared of the Jaguars defense, which I don't love. I'm scared that Satan has blessed Joe Burrow in ways that I don't seem to understand because they are eternal and everlasting. Those are both stupid reasons. Yep, we're taking the Jaguars +3.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should also be making that bet. Like, I worry a little bit that we're, falling victim to what happens in week 1, just because, like, week 1 is it's not predictive of what's going to happen the rest of the season.
Well, that's good because the Jacksonville Jaguars were my second most underrated team of the entire offseason.
Right. And that's what I was going to go to is we were really high on them in the offseason. And it kind of just looked like they confirmed what we thought about them. And the Bengals, like, maybe their defense is a little bit better than we thought it'll be, but yet to be seen. And they're mostly what we thought they were going to be as well. So I feel like we have a pretty good read on both of these teams. It's a solid number. Granted, it looks like it might go to 3.5, go back to 3.5.
It came from 3.5. I think it'll eventually settle on, well, do we want the 3.5 or do we want the fucking juiced odds? Because right now it's +3 at 105.
Right.
I want the 105.
Fine with me.
And then it is currently at 165 on the money lines. I think, now this might become a best bet, so we might might double these, but for now, let's make it 0.75 on the spread and then a sprinkling of a quarter unit on the money line. Thoughts?
I like it.
Dope.
Because Cincy also is a slow starting team.
And they came out with all the urgency in the world. Their entire mission this entire offseason was week 1, we got to dominate. And they were extremely lucky to beat a not very good Browns team. Now they're fat and happy. Now they're playing a good Jaguars team. We've got all that emotional voodoo bullshit on our side. And I think just a better fucking team. Like this Bengals defense is abysmal. And while the Browns can't take advantage of it, Liam Cohen and the Jaguars certainly can. Although I will say, Travis Hunter, he is who I thought he was. He's not special at all. He's mediocre.
Yeah, you might have nailed it on that one. Again, early, it normally takes a minute for wide receivers unless they're absolute studs, which I guess he was touted as, but
he's a second overall pick.
Yeah, but it takes a minute for most wide receivers to acclimate, so I'll give him some time, but yeah, he didn't look special.
Travis Hunter is proof that Shohei Ohtani is from Christ above, because people just assumed oh, Travis Hunter is good at wide receiver and cornerback in college. Therefore, he is Shohei Ohtani. And it's no. Shohei Ohtani does the same thing playing both ways, but he's fucking awesome at both of the things. Whereas we're amazed that Travis Hunter can do both of the things and he's just decent at them. People built this guy up he's a 4.5 40 kind of guy as far as speed goes. He's only 6 foot. He's extremely underweight. He's not powerful. He is not savvy or refined whatsoever. He does have great ball skills, although he had a drop or two in this game or week 1. The media hype made no fucking sense and people just ate it up and I don't like it and it's dumb. And by the way, remember when fucking Rob Hainsey wasn't allowed to play in Tampa Bay? Oh, he's just a fucking sick-ass number 3 ranked center by PFF. Do I believe PFF? Not for a second. But the fact that Ben Bredesen started over him in Tampa goes to show Todd Bowles fucking put him in a garbage disposal. I like the Jaguars next game.
I agree. Jag, plus 3.75 unit. Money line, 0.25 unit.
A very much smaller cha-ching. I'm not even gonna break this game down. The Ravens are super fucking good, but I'm not laying 12 points ever, and I believe the Browns will make it closer than that, but I am not betting on a Joe Flacco revenge game in 2025.
Yeah, just to quickly introduce this game, we have the Cleveland Browns going to play the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are minus 11.5. I agree. I don't want to touch this game.
Yeah, no, don't touch this game. I think it's fun that we prefaced a Browns versus Ravens game with don't touch, because both of these franchises probably should have told some of their players that.
Yeah, they need to put that up all over the facility.
Evidently, however, it's a good thing that they did because they both sucked so bad. The silver lining of all of this atrocity is that the football team can save some money when they cut them. All right. I forgot that I was supposed to be using the Gen Z terms, so I've pulled up a list of roughly 25 of them, and I will be using each one in order, organically, sort of, before the end of the podcast.
Like a game of ad lib.
No cap. There's one.
Next game, we have the New York Giants going to play the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys are minus 6.
This game is another perfect example of just certain teams have an uncontrollable riz that I do not understand theirs to, because I know that the Giants and Cowboys is absolutely going to be the local game on my cable package, obviously. I know that this is going to be the highest rated 1 o'clock game of the fucking year, and I don't see any reason that anybody should watch this game. Cowboys are probably going to fucking win. It's bad football.
Yeah, it's not going to be a fun game to watch. And at that number, I don't want to bet on it.
I don't want to bet anything at minus 6, ever. I want actionable lines. Did I? Yeah, okay, I did. Dak Prescott being the second highest PFF rated quarterback tells me that PFF is worse than ass. I'm not going to use a Gen Z slang here. There are many in this list that I could use, but they're too far down the line. I have to use the second one next, and it's very gay.
Fight through.
Somehow the Giants are once again giving a complete lack of direction. I feel like they're trying to win this year and save some jobs, but at the same time, I don't see how the fuck it's going to work. And there's just so many holes in this roster that don't seem to have been ever addressed. They got slow ass linebackers, dude. They got shitty slow ass linebackers. And Javonte Williams looks like a decent NFL running back. So the Cowboys are going to run the ball up the middle, and it's going to be pretty effective against this very pass rush centric defense. Right? Dexter Lawrence is sick as all hell, but the other 3 defensive linemen they have are very undersized pass rushers. I guess Thibodeau's not, but he plays like it. Because the Cowboys are going to run up the middle effectively, and then we like Paulson Adebo. We don't mind Cordell Flott. These are smaller, not even smaller. They can't keep up with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, who are sick. And then on the other side, I don't think the Giants can move the ball against anyone. Even though I think that the Cowboys defense is shit, the Giants offense is going to be built around throwing deep. And that's the last way you want to attack this defense. So fuck this game. I don't get it. I don't have anything to say.
Yeah, I mean, the Cowboys are going to win. Like, maybe they shoot themselves in the foot a little bit. Maybe some things click for the Giants on offense, but their defense looks terrible. The offense is old guys and not very good guys for most of it. And like, Russell Wilson is the quarterback at this age and this ability.
Well, and fucking James Hudson's starting at left tackle.
Yeah, it's just they had an incredibly thin roster, and then they had a bunch of guys get hurt week one. Like, I mean, at linebacker, they're totally screwed. Like, not that Mike McFadden's a stud, but at least he can move a little bit. And now they have incredibly washed Bobby Okereke being the best guy out there.
I'm going to always say Okereke.
What's that?
I'm going to always say Okereke. I think there's a statute of limitations. If you haven't corrected people on your name by the end of your rookie NFL season, that's your fucking name, dude. If people called me Zhao, I'd be like, yeah, that's not how you say that. You know, it's Joe, right? And they'd be like, oh, okay, we'll call you Joe. I would not let people call me Zhao for 8 years and then be like, actually, it's Joe. My little sister tried to do that bullshit because her name is spelled fucked up. You've seen her name, right?
Yeah.
Her name is spelled like my mom was on painkillers because she was. And when she was like 8, she was like, actually, it's pronounced... And I was like, that's utter and intense bullshit, you little bitch. So now she works for Congress. Shall we move to the next game, which is shitty, but I don't understand the line, so I need to talk about it immediately.
Yep, next game, we have the Chicago Bears going to play the... Nope, yep, you moved on me. Next game, we have the Los Angeles Rams going to play the Tennessee Titans. The Rams are -5.5.
Riddle me how the motherfuck the Rams are laying less than... The Rams are a good team, and the Titans are probably the worst team, and if they're not, they're very close. And the Rams are laying less against the Titans than the Cowboys, who are okay, are laying against the Giants, who are bad but not terrible. How in the fuck, dude?
Well, I think at least some of it is that the Titans were playing Broncos last week, who a lot of people expect to be not like a Super Bowl contender, but a playoff contender. And the Titans, everyone thought were going to be horrible. And there was, a competitive-ish, close-ish game. So I think that's where people are like, ooh, maybe the Titans and first overall pick, or, like second year for Callahan. Ward is a little bit better, even if he completed half of his passes, and the offense still kind of looks like a disaster, and Callahan still seems wildly overwhelmed. But the game was closer than people probably thought it was going to be. So I feel like that's some of it, but I still don't know how you get to under a touchdown.
I like the way I see it. The Broncos should have dominated that game, but for Bo Nix, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He was terrible. Again, Turns out Bo Nix, bad at Auburn, bad as a rookie, pretty decent at Oregon, means bad. By the way, I used It's Giving, that's 3, and I also used no cap, so that's 4. The Rams defense is going to eat this Titans offense alive because they match up particularly well. Jared Verse is a freak. I mean, he just keeps getting better too, which is crazy to think about. But he's going against Dan Moore. Dan Moore was the second worst offensive tackle in football last week, and it only gets worse. J.C. Latham is hurt and also not very good. Surprise, surprise, motherfucker. The Titans upgraded every ounce of their offensive line, and it's still bad. I mean, they have 4. The only returning starter who's playing the same position that he played last year is Skoronski, who's probably their best offensive lineman. Everybody else on their offensive lineman is either new, returning from injury, or playing a new position. And they still fucking suck. So it's dramatically better than it was last year, and it sucks. Starting to think maybe it wasn't a Will Levis problem, guys. Because the offensive line is terrible, they can't really run the ball. The Rams are pretty good at stopping the run also, and Brian Callahan's dumbass wants to run the ball regardless. Additionally, their receivers are poopy. Only one worth a goddamn is Calvin Ridley, and he was pretty drop prone last week. Also, Cam Ward, he looked confused. His accuracy is bad. I swear to God, people just draft quarterbacks first overall without ever thinking about whether or not they're good. In another shining example of PFF just being wildly silly, Jeff Simmons, superstar defensive tackle, Hall of Famer one day, he got a 53 PFF grade. That's pretty awful. Yeah, he was the 5th or 6th highest pass rush win rate player in the NFL this past week, but that was bad, actually. You don't want to do that. Stop rushing the passer, Jeff. It's racist.
Let's see, what do they have him? Was he? Yes, they just say he's terrible in the run game.
Which is like objectively not true for the last 10 years, but whatever. Anywho, outside of Simmons, they don't really have anybody that terrifies me. I like Devondre Sweat, but he's young and he's mercurial, right? There's a reason he fell into the second round despite being a freak talent. He has a hard time like staying in shape and always giving maximum effort. So it's a mediocre defensive line at best. I think that the Rams offensive line will hold up decently, but the thing that I'm really excited about is that last week, Matt Stafford was bussing. By the way, that's 5. One of the very fastest time in the pot. Like, the motherfucker got the ball out quick as all hell. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know the proper ways to say that statistically, but he's fast as fuck, bro. That was arguably Gen Z slang.
I think that's existed longer.
Yeah, but it came from like TikTok, didn't it?
You're asking the wrong person. I do not know.
Do you have TikTok?
No.
Okay, good. We're the last fucking holdouts. Miss Lady has secretly been dabbling in a TikTok burner, and I'm gonna hit her. I'm not gonna hit her. I'm never gonna hit her. I'm not. That would end badly for me.
You're gonna get signed by the Browns.
Well, now there's an idea. If I just treat these women poorly, the Browns will give me millions. They can't stop doing it. Dude, the fact that they just like washed their hands of the Quinn, like, Quinshawn, you fucking smacked your bitch up. That's fine. Prodigy did it 25 years ago. You're in. That's a deep cut, and that is Gen X through and through. We're fucking dotting the we're a generational podcast, not because we're great, but because we do span generations. So yeah, Matt Stafford was bussing. He's throwing the ball down the field a lot, but also getting the ball out quickly, which is awesome. They started cooking up some trick plays for my boy Jordan Whittington, and he's got the goods. That none of that is slang. That's just me talking. It's infiltrating my fucking brain. I'm infected. I don't see how this can be okay. Yeah, dude, I want to put this on. I want to put this motherfucker on.
I think I do too. Like, obviously bad number, but I think if we're ever gonna take a touchdown bet, gotta be this one.
Yeah, the number got me sus, but the bookmakers beat the Lulu. We are at 8.
Oh my god! All right, I'm happy with putting that one on.
Bet. That's 9.
In Rams,
dude. Bet. They think bet is a slang. These kids are barely human.
Rams -5.5. Cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
1 unit.
Slay 10. Most of their language is just exclaiming things are positive or negative. What was I typing? Dude, it's literally rotting my brain. I can't finish thoughts.
Bury yourself.
Never. I've come this far. Fuck, dude. Seriously. Look, I'm typing this shit in all wrong.
You're all over the place.
I'm struggling. I feel like Caleb Williams trying to read a defense right now. I'm like, fuck. I gotta hit the Gen Z slang. Paint my fucking nails, wear a stupid shirt underneath my pads. By the way, for a gay guy who's supposed to be all fashion forward, he looked like a disheveled hobo. I live in New York. I know what they look like. One tried to steal a chicken wing from me today. I swear to God. I was just eating my Korean chicken wings as I do. And he fucking tried to steal a galbi boneless right from on my plate. And I looked at him like, what the fuck's wrong with you? You thought a Gen Z. You thought that was all set up for a Gen Z, and it wasn't.
I was waiting. I was giving you the space.
Welcome to the jungle, motherfucker. This is New York. All right, next game. Speaking of New York.
Next game, we have the Buffalo Bills going to play the New York Jets. The Bills are -6.5.
I don't like the Bills. Well, actually, there's value on the Jets here. I don't know if I want to take it because, again, Josh Allen. But if we assume... So... Let's go through this. We know for a fact the Bills are going to run stupid plays that significantly kneecap their ability to score points for at least the first half. We also know the Jets are much worse in every facet, but we also know that the Jets run the ball very well. And the Bills can't stop the run, as Derrick Henry so eloquently explained. The Jets' many inadequacies will be basically mitigated by the fact that the Bills are entirely made up of mid. Somehow that's 11. Mid counts. I don't know.
No.
But that is an appropriate use of the word. The Bills' entire team is like, he's passable. He's passable. Oh, that's Josh Allen. That man is from Krypton. And then he's, passable. So I want to see, this is a learning game. I have to know if the Jets' offense is actually sustainably solid, or if the Steelers just are made of old veterans begging for money. Oh, fuck. Do we have to start calling the Steelers Lieutenant Dan? Because they are old veterans begging for money looking pretty shitty.
I think after another couple weeks, if it's still looking like it is, then we officially can.
They had 3 players over the age of 30 holding out, asking for more money. And then when they came back, they looked pretty significantly, shall we say, unable and shitty. Although TJ Watt did light Justin Fields on fire on a read option, and I don't know why people don't do that more often. Yeah, this will be a learning experience.
Yeah, I don't want to bet on it under a touchdown. I want 7.5 if I'm even going to entertain it.
I expected the Jets to be extremely chopped, and I'm kind of worried that they might not be entirely chopped.
Yeah, I mean they might, be able to, we talk about the defense not being that talented, but maybe it's actually decent and Aaron Glenn can figure it out and get guys in the right spot. I still have very little faith in that offense because Justin Fields has shown us who he is for years and years, but the offensive line looks a lot better. Membu looked awesome last week.
But again, like, is Membu awesome because Membu's good, or is Membu awesome because they're running the ball every play, which is his speciality? And TJ Watt is running outside to try to get a sack, even though there's no passing to be seen. I don't know.
Yeah, no, and I think that's very fair. And
fuck this game. I have a hot take about the next game. Let's do the next game.
I was about to say,
bored. I am bored of this bullshit.
Next up, we have the Chicago Bears going to play the Detroit Lions. The Lions are -5.5.
I might hit 5 terms in this breakdown.
We need a counter up on the YouTube video.
I just don't give a fuck about I actually hate doing production. As soon as we finish the podcast, I'm like, okay, cool, that's done. I never have to think about it again. And then I have to fucking mix it down. And I'm like, this is actually peasant work. I'm better than this. I should quit the entire podcast every time. But this is actually how I make all my bets. So I can't do that.
You're stuck with me and doing all the work.
I was going to say, if I didn't do the work, we wouldn't make the podcast. But also, if we didn't make the podcast, I would just call you and do the same fucking thing with no upside. So it's worth the extra 15 fucking minutes to mix it down. Anyway, vibe check. How do you feel about this game?
The Bears intrigue me, but I'm scared of Caleb Williams sabotaging it because the Lions looked awful. Their offensive line looks terrible. Goff looks terrible. It really does look like Ben Johnson was the entire thing. But the Bears are going to have to score at least a couple times.
All right. Well, you did in fact eat and you left no crumbs. I'm not ready to ghost the Ben Johnson experiment. And I believe that the Bears are going to have a significant glow up this week because despite Caleb's ridiculously terrible drip and his inability to process and his wild inaccuracy, this is a revenge game. And I don't think public perception could be any more dramatic on these teams. By the way, that was 4.
I hit drip for the 5th one.
Drip, glow up, ghosted, vibe check, and 8. As in left no crumbs. There is one more on the list from Google. I will hit it before the end of this breakdown, and then I will have to move to the Wikipedia glossary to find more Gen Z terms. All of what I said was just trying to hit as many buzzwords as I could, but also true. Like, if I thought Caleb Williams could be the 20th best quarterback in the NFL this week, we're pounding the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Big dub. There it is. There's 5. Now I can actually talk like a human and hope that my brain slowly recuperates. I'm not joking. It did make me dumber. It made me incapable of multitasking. These fucking Chinese got us by the balls. They did this, not us. They invented all these words. So doing the Justin, oh my God, I almost just called him Justin Fields. That's where we're at. Is that a Freudian slip? Is that overt racism? Is that the TikTok words breaking my brain? I don't know. It could be all 3. I feel like battery acid has been dumped in my skull. But I had this take before I went to hockey, which means that my brain was functioning at the highest possible level. I've been thinking about it all day. People have never hated the Bears more than they do right now. The Chicago is distraught. It's a really good thing that Caleb Williams' nails reminded everybody not to kill themselves because they certainly would have forgotten otherwise. It's bad. You know how bad it is? Yesterday, the family group chat of all the men that are immediately related to me and Uncle Chris, who is not, but is in there some reason anyway, for the first time ever, they admit that I'm right about a thing because they said, wow, Joey was right. This Caleb Williams guy fucking sucks. And I was like, guys, I didn't even say he fucking sucks. And they're like, nah, you did. And I'm like, no, I just said he's not a superstar and he's probably not worth the first overall pick. And they're like, yeah, so he sucks. And I'm like, yep, that's what we're dealing with. These are truck drivers and electricians.
There is no such thing as gray.
It's the quite literal middle America of the middle of America. Anyhow, Caleb Williams does suck. Chicagoans do have valid reason for thinking about doing the only brave thing a man can do and turning the gun on their family and then themselves.
Jesus Christ.
It's a Sam Talent quote. I didn't make it up. It was on Matt and Shane. I didn't do it, but it's the best fucking quote of all time.
Back when men were men.
Back when men were men and you could just hold her head under the water until there was no more bubbles. That's also a Sam Talent. This was in
I
a
don't
Dude
know what
Wipe
I
ad.
liked less, the Sam Talent quotes or the Gen Z quotes.
We're gonna go back to Gen Z. Fuck, I gotta pull up the Wikipedia. Give me a moment. The people who really want to see the video visualization on the YouTube are gonna have to deal with the dead air while I find more Gen Z quotes. Oh my God, there are so many. I'm never gonna get through.
What do you mean? We're still in the 1 o'clock slate.
Oh,
We
I
got
still gotta
plenty of
use.
game.
I gotta use Aura and Big Dick Energy and Big Yikes. Oh my God,
You missed your aura chance with Cincinnati.
buddy, we got half of Twitter is just guys homoerotically talking about the quote unquote aura of men they've never met. You guys realize how insanely sus that is? That's a genuine usage. Like talking about another man's intangible allure that simply his personality and vibe and look without speaking kind of draw you to him. That's called romantic attraction. And the Bears fell for it with Caleb Williams. They gay fell in love with, I'm not going to go there. Anyhow, Caleb Williams is bad. He's not an abject saboteur yet. I just don't quite believe it.
I
Ben
miss these
Johnson.
tangents, man. I'm so glad football's back.
I'm so glad football's back so we could talk about how actually everybody on Twitter is gay. And also, I'm going to almost divulge secrets that I should not be telling people because then people that are my sources would be very mad at me and probably stop talking to me, and then I'd be super sad because I love their podcasts. The Bears offense is really good. It works, and Ben Johnson is smart. But I did notice that Ben Johnson, he withheld some things, right? Like the offense was really well designed, but it wasn't as easy. It wasn't as gimme. It wasn't as like the trick plays weren't there, right? Like the truth stealing spam plays. You know what spam play is? That's not Gen Z. It's like a thing. It's like when you play Madden and you're like, every time I run this screen, I get 35 plus yards because the computer is broken and can't defend it. Yeah, Ben Johnson has those plays. Okay, cool. Ben Johnson has those plays. He didn't use them. He did honest, real good play calling, and Caleb Williams was just like, where's DJ Moore? I don't see him. He certainly can't be on the field wide open because then I would throw him the ball and probably miss. The Lions run a much more vanilla defense. Frankly, I was a little bit unimpressed with the Lions pass rush. I thought it was going to be sick, but it looks like Aiden Hutchinson like needs more time. And that's totally fair. Yeah. He destroyed his lower body recently. So like it's fine. Give him a month. But I think that the Lions defense presents a much more permeable vessel for the trick plays and the spam plays. I also think that Caleb Williams can't be worse. If that loss didn't refocus him, nothing on earth will, and he must be put on a piece of ice and shipped out to the sea. Like honestly, if Caleb Williams looks in this game the way he looked last week, Tyson Bagent's playing. I'm dead serious.
Yeah, I mean, he should.
I big trust.
Is that Gen Z slang?
Yep, and it's also off the dome. I can't go in order because they're alphabetized, so that would just be silly.
Lamar is a culture setter.
Yeah, he invented it for sure. Also the Lions, the Lions offense is insanely bad. Yes. I think their average depth of target in the first half was like 1.8 yard. And Goff looks terrible. They don't know how to function. Their offensive line didn't look that good in the run game, which is where they're supposed to dominate.
They lost 2 guys, right?
Yeah, but they replaced him with Tate Ratledge, who's sick, and then Christian Mahogany, who's decent. But it turns out Ben Johnson might have just been setting him up in nice positions. Also, Taylor Decker looks a little bit washed. I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. He's a little bit washed.
I mean, he's been around for a long time.
He's also been hurt.
A lot of injuries.
I think he is an injury. I think Taylor Decker is a diagnosis that you can get at the hospital. We've been talking about Bears Lions for like 25 minutes, and I've barely talked about the game. I haven't even pulled up the fucking roster.
We barely even talked about why we're making the bet.
It's very simple. Like people still have it in their head that the Lions are a good team, and I don't think they are. Jared Goff is 0 for 20 trying to win a football game without Sean McVay in his prime or Ben Johnson in his prime calling plays. He's played 20 games with coordinators not named Ben Johnson and Sean McVay. 0, 19, and 1. That is penis.
Yeah,
not Michael Penis.
It's as simple as I think the Lions are a lot worse and are overrated. The Bears, Caleb Williams, questions abound, but they're at least going to be a pretty solid team because the defense looks pretty good. The offense is going to be able to manufacture stuff even if Caleb ends up being a bit of a saboteur. And it's 5.5. This is a division game early in the year. I feel like it's going to be close between these two teams, or the Bears are going to run away with it because Caleb refocuses or learns how to throw accurately or read a defense.
I also think that Ben Johnson partially held back the trick plays and the easy gimme type shit because he didn't want to burn it. When you use that shit, you can't use it the next week because it's played out. But I think Ben Johnson figured week 1 at home with a crazy complex defense. Let's keep it simple. Week 2 on the road where we're kind of going to need every break we can get against my ex-employer.
Right.
That's where we save the really good plays for that'll steal us 15 yards here. Maybe not the trick plays because like It could be difficult to do a heavily schemed play in a hostile environment, but like maybe a double pass, maybe a flea flicker, a lot of the play action rollout type shit, like the things that make it easy.
Yeah, I mean, like the Lions been doing for years with Ben Johnson at the helm of just pulling
Exactly.
off kind of crazy stuff that it seemed like they kind of kept coming up with things.
Yeah. So I think it is likely the Bears have an even better offensive game plan this upcoming week. I think it is certain that Caleb Williams will be less bewildered by his offense. And frankly, I think we're going to get 6. I think this eventually goes up to Bears +6. It's already moved a full point in the last 10 hours. I think we're going to keep going.
Yeah, that would be super nice. But honestly, I'm even okay with it at 5.5. So I feel like this is going to be like a 3 or 4 point game.
I think the Bears win this game.
I wouldn't be shocked at all. I think it's going to be a pretty evenly matched game, and it's going to come down to like who has the ball last or who makes the one last mistake.
I think every game is in the 1 o'clock window this next week. What the fuck?
There are a lot of them.
Should we do the next?
Let's.
We're maybe
Oh,
piling Chicago.
I was
Maybe
about
piling.
to say maybe pile.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to bet it, but I want to know the number. Like, am I going to get the 6? I think maybe. I don't want to bet the 5.5 if I could get the 6. I'm okay with betting the 5 instead of the 5.5. 5.5 doesn't matter to me. It's a nothing number. 5.5 means 5 or 6. So if it goes up to 6, fuck yeah, dude. If it drops down to 5, okay.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm good with putting it on the maybe pile. And I think it's something that like I'd be down to bet because like you said, the Bears might win this game and we're getting almost a full score. And like even, 5.5, 6, it doesn't matter that much in terms of I think the Bears could win this game and at the least it'll be like field goal area. But
the entire NFL is one possession games. So yeah, next up.
Next game, we have the Seattle Seahawks going to play the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are -3.
This is an interesting game and one that depending on how many TVs I can acquire before Sunday, I may have on. But I don't really know what I want to do with it. Like, the Seahawks looked almost exactly how I expected them to. Their defense terrorized San Francisco. It was pretty good. Tyreek Woolen had one of his occasional just like, dude, you're so fucking terrible kind of games. He has problems with focusing. He doesn't focus. You don't do it. But the defensive line, you can't run against this team. They're fast in the secondary. Aaron Rodgers was low-key kind of bad for the Steelers. He threw 2 balls that absolutely should have been picked and just like defenders dropped him, like straight up fell. One of them, a guy fell down and still almost caught the interception, but then didn't. Honestly, the Steelers, I don't know what to do with at all. And the Seahawks, like their offense sucks. It's not good. It's slow receivers. It's a questionable quarterback who's prone to occasional plays of beauty and then mostly just not very impressive. I don't know. I don't have a read on these teams. So there's not a lot I can say. Alex, you're muted.
I feel like we have a clear idea of the Seahawks and the Steelers in that like we know the Seahawks defense is going to be great, but their offense is going to be very it's going to be a lot of yo-yoing on that offense where I think some weeks they're going to put up points and then there are going to be other weeks where they have a bunch of turnovers and can't move the ball. And I would expect the game in Pittsburgh against the Steelers, that's going to be a game where the offense is under pressure a lot. Sam Darnold seeing ghosts, but I expected that last week and their defense looked terrible. So I don't know what to do with the Steelers. I mean, based off of last week, I would want to bet on the Seahawks because it looks like they have the better defense and neither offense is any good and we're catching points, but I don't feel super confident in that because if the Pittsburgh defense rebounds, that's like one of the worst matchups for Darnold.
Exactly. And that's why I actually lean towards Pittsburgh is just if the Steelers defense can get pass rush, Sam Darnold will crumble.
Yeah.
It's what he does. The wide receivers for the Seahawks are not good and they're very slow. Slow receivers versus slow old defensive backs. Mitigation. Elite edge rush presence in theory at least versus really good offensive tackles. Mitigation. Quarterback who's prone to doing dumb shit versus secondary that is prone to being too aggressive and doing dumb shit. Mitigation. Really disappointed in Peyton Wilson actually because I love him. I thought he was going to be an awesome linebacker and last year he looked really good and then in week 1 he looked really bad. And like that's not just PFF saying it, but like he really didn't look good.
Didn't he get hurt pretty early on though? And then
maybe.
I think he got banged up and then came back in, but I could be thinking somebody else.
He may have. I didn't watch that detailed, but I just kept noticing, oh, there's another run up the middle that is going untouched. And that's number 41 falling off the running back. God damn it. So that's figure it out. I don't know what this game, dude. This game is messy. It's two very similarly mercurial, mysterious teams. I need more information.
Yeah, this is one that the Steelers are an enigma to me at this point, so I'm fine with just leaving it.
Oh, that next game is utter and atrocious dog shit.
Ooh, to close out the 12 o'clock hour, we have the San Francisco 49ers going to play the New Orleans Saints. The 49ers are -4.5.
Are you aware that this is going to be Mac Jones versus Spencer Rattler?
Jesus.
PFF had Spencer Rattler as the 12th best. Dude, I swear to God, PFF is short for PCP, fentanyl, and fucking animals because they're insane.
Yeah, they have a great layout for depth charts. And
I adore it. I adore the layout. I hate every grade on this fucking page. Actually, I don't. Nick Bosa was really good. There you go. You got one.
Do you want to bet on this game?
A little bit. I kind of want to bet on the 49ers because it's
Yeah,
Mac Jones. It's Mac Jones, which is a steep drop off from the $60 million quarterback Brock Purdy, except it's actually not at all. It's the same fucking shit. And it's like, oh, but they don't have George Kittle. And it's like, yeah, I know. But he's a fucking tight end, and those barely matter. And that Tongues guy, Tangees is actually how you say it. Tangees looked pretty fucking decent last week. And Ricky Pearsall's a stud. So I don't know. I kind of like the 49ers.
I definitely think the 49ers are going to win, and I agree that it's not as steep of a drop-off from Purdy to Mac Jones as people think it is, but there's some of it of perception as reality for the 49ers that they just lost arguably their two key players on offense, being Kittle and Purdy, and
True.
4.5, it might as well be a touchdown.
It is. 4.5 might as well be 5.5. Might as well be almost 6.
Yeah, so it's still kind of a big number, even though like it dropped from 7 to 4.5 with the Purdy and Kittle news, I'd assume. But
oh my God, this is appropriate because it's a San Francisco game, and I have to interrupt you. Fuck football for a second. One of the Gen Z slangs is bussy.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means?
Baby.
It's a portmanteau of boy and pussy, effectively meaning a man's anus.
Yeah, it's boy pussy. You haven't heard of that?
Yeah, but like that's just their regular. Gen Z is so gay that they're just like, oh, the most vulgar things. We say them all the time.
Well, I mean, I'm sure if you looked up like millennial slang, there'd be a bunch of stuff in there that you're like, I would never say this. But I think when you're looking for like an all-encompassing list of every slang term popularized by that generation, you're going to find some strange ones.
Gen Z has a slur for robots.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen it. Isn't it clanker?
Yeah, I'm allowed to say a slur all I fucking want.
I mean, just you're saying it to a robot, so you're saying it into
Fuck that
a
clanker.
robot appendage to a robot.
Fuck yo stanky ass clanker.
I don't know. I think that one might be a different slur.
Why? That's from Black Jesus.
All right.
The actual slur that the hobo used in Black Jesus was cracker. So I'm allowed to substitute it.
Football game, football podcast.
And then Black Jesus says, "You smell like ass and crackers." And I laugh every time.
It's a good line. But...
All right, football game. We're going to bet on them. I don't like this fucking card, dude. None of these games are actionable.
Yeah, we are definitely running into that.
Yeah, it's a 49ers maybe pile. Like realistically, if we assume the line is anywhere close to correct at 4.5, we just assume that most of the parts of the line are correct. Spot the big inefficiencies. Big inefficiency. People think Brock Purdy's really good, and I think he's nothing. People think Mac Jones is really bad, and I think he's the same fucking shit. He's just a different kind of cracker. All these crackers look the same to me anyway, especially when they're game managing a Kyle Shanahan offense. So I think that there's a big inefficiency there going both ways, which should give us at least a point of value. And George Kittle's a big name, but I think that the tight end is basically productive in a Kyle Shanahan offense and many offenses these days, not because they're good, but because they're forgotten about, right? They're just there. Like, look at fucking CJ Uzoma, right? That's the fucking guy who was with the Jets and the Bengals.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get like a fucking like Ruckert. Like you get all these shitty, like, oh, he's 6'5" and he can kind of walk, and then he just catches 500 yards. Like it's the forgotten position. That's why it works. The defense spreads out to cover the receivers, and then they're like, oh fuck, the middle is wide open with that tall guy who moves a little bit. So I don't know. I think that the market is probably going to overvalue Brock Purdy and George Kittle a lot. I think it is going to undervalue Mac Jones. I also think that the Saints are generally undervalued as well, though, so I'm not super excited to bet it. I guess it's fucking there if we need it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not thrilled about it. It kind of makes sense sense to me, but it's still a number in a situation I'm not in love with. So I think maybe pile, and we will almost assuredly be back to it.
Yeah.
But let's get into the mid slate, afternoon slate. I guess they're all afternoon though.
Dude, it's the
Whatever
late
it's
slate.
called.
It's the late slate. It even rhymes. It's how you know God meant for it to be so.
The
Unlike
game
Bussy.
start at 3 o'clock and earlier for me.
Thank you for speaking over my cancelable sentence.
I do my best to protect you, even if I'm not very good at it most of the time.
People don't seem to understand all the time when I'm ridiculing the bad ones. They seem to think that I'm joining them. And I need you to know I don't respect anyone on either side of anything. Except, of course, for Bussy, which I must respect out of sheer fear and terror.
First
Panthers
up,
Cardinals!
we have the Carolina Panthers going to play the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals are -6.5.
Pick a letter A through Z.
L.
We're using a Gen Z word from L. There are 5. L, lit, locked in, looks maxing, and lore. I'm going to use all 5.
Wow. All in this game?
Yeah. This game is an L for us. It fucking sucks. The Panthers are super not interesting. The Cardinals, most people don't realize that the Cardinals are a franchise. They're the most forgotten franchise in all of sport. I am certain of it.
Yeah.
And the Seattle Kraken exist, much to everybody's chagrin. That said, I must lock in and pretend that this game is lit for a very small moment. I don't know. I lean Cardinals, but there's also a lot of lore between me and the management of the Panthers, whom I don't respect and think are flankers. Just gonna use it for everything, dude. Except, of course, for what we call Travis Kelce. I will continue to use that word and mute myself while I do so, and then you will laugh, and then I will resume recording. Anyway.
What do you do when he retires? And are you just gonna find a new one?
Oh, there's never been another one of those around. Bro, if I have to, I'll move on.
You're on notice.
I was gonna say, if I have to, I'll move to Pete Crow Armstrong. We got options. Anywho's it's. I don't know how the fuck to use looks maxing in any possible way ever. So I'm not gonna, but that's all the L Gen Z words. Seriously though, L, like this game sucks. You know what they did? They threw 2 games that are pure and utter bussy next to the Chiefs-Eagles game so that they could effectively make it a extra primetime game.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I don't think it's smart to bet on this game because the Cardinals still don't impress me. I don't think they're a good team, and they're getting 6.5. But then on the other hand, you have the Panthers who suck. So I think we just move on and go to the next game.
Yeah, this game is bussy. Oh, but also the Saints are only getting 4.5, not 7. Oh fuck, no, I'm on the wrong game. The Saints played the Cardinals last week, and I was trying to think of a way to use looks maxing because I was like, oh, the Cardinals are looks maxing by playing the Saints because it makes them look better than they actually are. But I got trapped in the Gen Z words and got stupid again. Next game, the Battle of the Ponies.
Next up, we have the Denver Broncos going to play the Indianapolis Colts. The Broncos are -2.
Pick a letter.
P.
All right, there are only 4. Period, which is racist. Pick me, Pookie, which I don't get at all, and pushing P, which I thought we did back in college. We may have. Not. I thought that term was thrown around back in our day. Although dude, technically we're Gen Z. You are, I'm not.
What?
Well, no, you're less. Gen Z ends in either 95 or 96, depending on who you ask. And I was born in 95 and 96.
How does that? How are you born in 2 years, Joe? Did you
Well,
climb back in?
You joke, but kinda. It took 3 days for me to finish coming out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, baby. So I started in 95. I tasted fresh air in 95, and then I didn't like it too much until 96.
You were just really trying to end up as a Gen Zer.
We was cold. It was January in Chicago. Anywho, this is actionable, but I don't know what to do because I can't evaluate the Colts whatsoever based on their Miami game. That was a bullshit. The game was ass and crackers. But I also can't really bet on the Broncos with Bo Nix existing. I think he sucks. So I kind of want to bet on the Colts, but everybody seems to be betting on the Colts, and I'm scared to bet on the plucky team that surprised and scored a fuck ton of points and covered against the team that struggled to beat the bad team. Dude, I think I like the Colts. The more I say it, the Broncos were always overrated. Bo Nix was always ass, and I always thought the Colts were decent, and Anthony Richardson was just mega ass, period.
Yeah, I mean, the Colts, that offense should be incredible because outside of the quarterback, it's really talented and deep. And I mean, mean, if Daniel Jones can fit into that offense and just run Steichen's system, like he's got a million weapons. We talked about it in the preview that like he's going to have time and he's going to have people open. We just didn't think that he'd be any good, but maybe he can, kind of Darnold it.
I'm just trying to think. Yeah.
But
So, okay, let's pull up no, because this is actionable. We should devote some
because on
thought.
the other side, the Broncos defense still should be very good. I mean, they largely completely suffocated the Titans.
Which is,
And
I mean, that's like suffocating a small child. It's easy and feels really good.
you're going to get fired.
I love children. I would never suffocate a small child, only a really large one. Fuck. Roger Goodell, you got to give us more competitive games so that I don't get stuck talking in Gen Z, rot my brain, and say all of the terrible jokes that I think are so funny. Because I'm not going to edit them out, because as talked about previously, I hate production. Graphic design is my passion. Another Gen Z phrase. Next. No, so like you said, the problem with the Broncos is that their defense is fucking incredible. Like, Surtain is going to take one receiver out of the game. And the beauty of the Colts is that like none of their receivers are special. They're all pretty damn good. So let's say he takes Michael Pittman just out. Let's say Riley Moss is the truth. I doubt it. And he takes Alec Pierce out. Well, he's still got Josh Downs and A.D. Mitchell. It's going to be a fucking slog. Like, oh yeah, you got a really nice pass rush with like two really fast edge rushers, but the Colts have a great offensive line. Man, I don't know. I think the Colts win. I like the Colts because what is it all comes down to what does Daniel Jones have to do?
Not turn the ball over.
He doesn't have to throw the ball deep. And in fact, he almost can't, right? Because the secondary is too good and this pass rush is too quick. I have hiccups and I don't have any more water left, but I do have beer. And I think the last thing I need right now is lubrication. Fuck. Yeah, dude, I think that the Colts are the fucking move.
Yeah, I mean, home dog. Always like
Daniel
that.
Daniel Jones is really good at throwing curls and digs as they were. And that's kind of how you're going to have to beat this Broncos team. The digs will be really effective behind the blitzing linebackers. I mean, the fucking curls are whatever. Everybody can hit a slant. It's going to have enough time. Now, on the other side, this is where it's really important. Bo Nix is ass. I mean, he's so ass. He can't do anything. They're going to throw short because it's what they do because Joe Lombardi is their OC. So the pass rush doesn't matter, which is good because I don't have it, but the run stuff matters and they have that. I don't know, man. I like Colts. I don't love it, but I like it. I don't know if I'm going to put my own money on it, but I think we should put it in our 5.
We still got a few more games to look at, but yeah,
right,
it's trending that way.
Maybe Pile?
I think maybe Pile for now. We only got a handful left, and there's some actionable lines to talk about yet.
Like what?
Like kind of all of them.
No, dude, that's your segue. Slip in.
Moving on to the last game of the late slate, we have the Philadelphia Eagles going to play the Kansas City Chiefs. The Eagles are -1.
Pick a letter.
C.
Nope, we're gonna do E for Eagles.
Why did you ask me to pick a letter then?
Because I already did C. There's no E?
I was about to say, I think S is your next one.
I feel like that's gonna be too many.
M,
oh my
maybe?
fucking god. All right, we're just gonna go down the list. Salty, start digging in your butt, twin.
Oh my god.
What? Sheesh? Yeah, sheesh. Why am I digging in my butt? Shook, Sigma, Simp, 6'7". All right. There's nothing really to say about this game that we didn't say 2 weeks ago on the Super Bowl podcast, right? It's largely the same kinds of teams, if not the same teams entirely. So is there anything in them like this should really be a market handicap because we already know the football. The football is the Eagles are the better team, like pretty significantly. Patrick Mahomes is 11th per PFF. Again, PCP, fentanyl, and foot fetishes. Fucking insanity. I mean, Patrick Mahomes was fucking terrible. So that's the thing. Mahomes is increasingly showing us that he is who he has been for the last 3 years. It's just over. Right? It's done. He's not that guy. He's fine. Jalen Hurts is the screen and check down merchant of a generation, but you can do that. Like, you don't have to be a good quarterback when everything around you is stellar. Do you think, put on your like meatball fan hat, do you think that the average casual is out here thinking the Chiefs are going to be pissed off because they lost and they're still the best, so they're not going to go 0-2, they're not going to lose to the Eagles twice in a row, they're going to try really hard and win because they're going to try hard? Is that what they're thinking?
Yeah, I think they're doing it exactly in Patrick Mahomes' voice like that too. Well,
I was trying to put on a clanker voice and I accidentally was Mahomes. By the way, again, clanker is not a racial thing. I'm using clanker for every word that I typically would try to find some related word or rhyming word.
Just a lot of context clues to figure out what exactly you mean.
If you've listened to this podcast before, you know the word I was talking about that I can't say anymore, but yeah.
I think meatball hat, yeah, you go a little bit of the Chiefs are still great, Super Bowl hangover.
What, the Chiefs are going to go 0-2 with Patrick Mahomes as their quarterback? They can't. That's illegal. They can't even. He's the best of all time. Do you see him? He threw when he was falling.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's still just a lot of voodoo about them. And I mean, like, they still are a good team.
Yeah.
They're just not the Chiefs of old where they were the team.
They just don't have a passing game. Yeah. But their quarterback's definitely going to the Hall of Fame, one of the top 5 of all time, even though he's like the weakest link on their own fucking offense this year and last year and the year before. Yeah, fuck it. Football is astrology for men. I think it's Eagles. Like Birdwatcher rejoice. I just it's a simple fucking game.
Yeah.
You run the
I already
ball
wrote it
again.
in, too.
Okay. We're doing
And,
this.
I mean, it's a little bit of, what we talked about last week of the Ravens versus the Bills. It's just different in that it's like what the public thinks that is. In that, like, the Eagles have a much better roster. They have a worse quarterback, and there's in theory, a bigger difference between the two. But the Chiefs, theoretically, have the all-time great quarterback and all-time great coach that they can kind of like get around some of those holes in the rest of the roster. But Mahomes hasn't been that guy for years. And even though the roster is a little bit better, it's still nowhere near as good as the Eagles is.
You speak wise truth. You're right. It's the exact handicap. It's not only the exact handicap from the Super Bowl, but it's also the exact handicap from the Bills-Ravens game where it's like, what matters more, having the super fucking stacked elite roster or having the savant quarterback? Except it turns out this savant quarterback is more idiot, less savant.
Yeah. So, and it's -1, so it's basically pick 'em. I think
No,
Eagles,
it is
Eagles
pick 'em.
is the move.
Plus, you know what? Every fake sharp out there, every guy who like has never watched a football game but bets based on Steam is going to say, Patrick Mahomes is undefeated. He covers the spread every single time. He's a favorite of less than 3. Did you know that? You didn't even know that. You're not even sharp. I'm going to say, you have fun there. That's great. Don't hurt yourself, buddy.
Yeah. So I think Eagles -1. Cha-ching.
Dude, something very sad is that there are probably many people out there who have just blindly bet on the Chiefs every week for the last 5 years, think they're awesome at betting, have made a lot of money betting, and are now going to lose their fucking asses because it no longer works because the Chiefs are kind of dead. And by kind of dead, I mean they'll make the playoffs.
Yeah. All right. On to Sunday Night Football.
Who we got?
have the Atlanta Falcons going to play the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings are -4.5.
I hate this number because I was so excited to bet on the Vikings.
Yep.
So we're going to live bet it because it's a primetime game, so the lines will be moving. But yeah, no, I think this is easy. Like, Michael Penix is not good, and he got really confused by Todd Bowles' defense, and now he's got to face the better version. Brian Flores is, the meme, verbal meme. It's like a cat looking in the mirror and he sees a lion. Todd Bowles, cat, mirror, lion, Brian Flores. Oh, I'm going to be super tricky and clever with my exotic blitzes, and they kind of look alike a little bit, like they're both bald black guys who are of a certain age. And I guarantee you, Todd, what? Oh, are they not black guys? Alex, what race are the guys?
Do all black guys look the same?
No, I said all white guys look the same. It's different.
You said they kind of look the same, and to be honest with you, I think they look pretty substantially different. There's like
they're very different looking.
Age gap.
They're very different faces, but they're middle-aged black men with no hair who coach defense and like to blitz a lot.
Is Todd Bowles middle-aged? I think he's an old man.
He's sneaky old. Like, Todd Bowles is of the age where when they quote-unquote fire him, they will actually quote-unquote move him to the front office.
Yeah, he'll retire.
But he doesn't look that old, does he?
I mean, he looks a little old. I guess he's 61.
Yeah, Brian Flores is what, 48, 50?
44.
Okay. Brian Flores is...
We're doing the really unimportant tangent again.
Dumb guy age slow, smart guy age fast. I got carded for liquor the other day. Maybe I'm not as smart as I think. No, I think this Michael Penix is going to have a fucking bastard of a time trying to figure this defense out. I think that JJ McCarthy settled in. I think the Vikings, more perception is reality, right? That's one of the main tenets of this podcast and our betting strategy is it doesn't matter if it's true, they think it's true. It doesn't matter if JJ McCarthy was bad in the first half. I don't think he was. I think everybody's dumb for thinking he was. I think you're dumb for thinking he might have been, but it doesn't matter because the Vikings probably did, or at least they were worried he might suck. And now they know he doesn't. So now they're going to act like he doesn't suck, which means that instead of pissing away the first half of the game, running the ball for for no yards up the middle, they will let JJ McCarthy play football. And it turns out when he plays football, he's good at it. Additionally, the Bears defensive line was just eating him up in the first half, and that was the problem. A, the Vikings offensive line figured it out as the game wore on. And B, much more importantly, the Falcons have a curse. When Arthur Blank hit it big on Home Depot, he told God, I promise you, God, that I will never have an edge rusher worth a goddamn if you just let me make this sweet, sweet Home Depot money. And God said, oh, you stupid bitch. I got you now. Well, that's how God talks. This was Jewish God. Remember, he's mean. So yeah, like they drafted Jalen Walker. Whoa, he sucks? Who could have assumed that the tiny, unproductive edge rusher out of Georgia would suck? Except for anybody who watched him play. Leonard Floyd still sucks? Who could assume that the undersized, unproductive Georgia edge rusher would suck? He's not even he's actually kind of perfectly sized. He's just skinny. James Pierce is actually good though. He just doesn't play because they have to give 6-foot Jalen Walker a bunch of reps to just run into walls and hurt himself. Walls being any offensive lineman, that is. I'm tempted to take the Vikings over the Giant line. I know that I will live bet it. If at any time the line gets to under 3, you can basically rest assured I will have $8,000 lined up on Minnesota. So I'm praying that the Falcons get the ball first and drive and score a touchdown so that I can get that sweet, sweet live value.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think the Vikings are in a better spot. They pose a matchup problem in that Brian Flores is going to confuse the hell out of Penix.
And he's Penix when he plays well.
Fair enough. Whereas I think the Vikings offense, like they had to get through that, like, okay, what is the rookie? What can he handle? Oh, okay, he's good. Or at least he can make things happen. Then I think that gives them a ton of confidence that they'll be able to kind of hit the ground running, or at least be productive quicker than they were in the Monday night game. But that's a big number. I don't want to deal with it. I think you're all over it with just live bet and wait for the first good Falcons thing to happen and see what you can get.
Brother, I'm maybe piling it. I'm low on the Falcons and I love this Vikings team now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. It's just a weird number.
It's a terrible number. It's one of the worst numbers they got. Oh shit. Okay, we got some fun games that are also actionable. Let's move to Monday night. We got a double Monday.
Yeah, double Monday.
All the way across the sky. Double rainbow? You don't get it? All right, sweet.
Hell yeah.
I'm the only one who smoked weed in middle school. Tight.
You just we know how much you love your hallucinogens, Joe. Go.
I had to cut you off so you didn't talk about my illicit drug use that I definitely love to do. The joke here is that I hate all of them.
I can say if anyone seems like they love tripping balls and heading off into the mountains, it's definitely you.
Yeah, extremely intense and like anal retentive about everything. Screams drugs.
You love giving up control to a chemical.
Or anything at all, ever. Except, of course, for lady friend who takes it.
Yep.
Get it? All right, next game.
On to Monday. Double Monday.
All the way across
First up, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to play the Houston Texans. The Texans are -2.5.
Alex, we have Baker Mayfield as an underdog. I want to fucking do it.
I know you do.
Let's talk through
I
it.
feel like if I wasn't able to keep you off the Bucks last week, I'm not going to be able to keep you off the Bucks this week.
All right, here's the game. We learned a few things about the Buccaneers last week. Again, namely, number one, all this talk all summer. Todd Bowles is talking about how he had this epiphany and he realized how he has to change his defense and then just loaded up on really good cornerbacks. And people all around Tampa were thinking like, oh, they're going to be aggressive. They're going to press coverage. They're going to play some man sometimes even. And then it came out week 1 and they did the exact same shit they fucking always do. And the only way that they got stops was when Michael Penix just dirted balls for no reason. Servacia Dennis, that's the worst linebacker in the history of God's earth. He had, I shit you not, 8 busts in coverage, be they not covering the correct area or pursuit so bad that it manifested in literally no coverage at all. He's the worst linebacker I've ever seen play a game. Now, he may be better than that in this game, right? Like, you can't shit yourself and fall off a bridge every day because death only greets us once. But I don't know, this is a special level of fuck suck. I mean, it's really bad. I think like the fact that PFF gave him a 44 chills my bones because it's so high. Kalijah Kancey just doesn't seem like he's ever going to become a good defensive tackle. He's a fucking bust. He's so quick, but he's so small. He's just a liability in the run game and he's not nearly good enough in the pass game to make up for it. So let's see. How's this going to go? Nick Chubb's going to run up the middle a little bit. He's not going to really get anything from it, right? Because like, this Nick Caley guy, he is McVay. He loves the gap scheme up the middle. All of a sudden, when the smartest guys in the NFL all just randomly converted into being Byron Leftwich in the run game. So dumb, but it happened 2 years ago. So they won't get any push in the run game. It's going to come down to the throw game. CJ Stroud looked better this week than he did last year, but still not good. Got lucky on a pick that was called back for a roughing the passer call, which like, yeah, fair, but also has nothing to do with the play. Like he threw the pick. CJ Stroud, king of throwing picks that are not somehow picked in the stat line.
It's a valuable skill.
Sure, evidently. No, I don't know, man. I think that the Bucs can really handle the Texans offense. The question is, can Baker Mayfield operate the offense understanding that he's going to be under constant pressure?
Yeah.
Like this offensive line is terrible. Remember last year and everybody's just sucking it off? Oh, it's the best offensive line. It's so good. No, dude, it's Baker Mayfield. He's really, really good at managing pressure, like amongst the best. I think Lassiter can perfectly take Evans out of the game. I think Igbuka is shit. Like people love Igbuka because he made those 2 big touchdown catches. He wasn't open on either. So he's not big and he's not open. So Baker Mayfield just has to make ungodly throws, and that's not a sustainable form of offense. And then, yeah, you got the best pass rush duo in the NFL going against Luke Gadecki, mid, and Graham Barton, their center, who's playing left tackle. Well, he was a left tackle at Duke, but there's a reason he got kicked into center. Frankly, I think he can hang as a tackle. I think he could be a fine enough tackle. I think he could be a really good center, but I think he could be a fine enough tackle. The problem is you've got Michael Jordan and Ben Bredesen and Cody Mock on the inside, and that's just shit. I don't know. What do you think? So I can reject it out of hand.
I mean, I lean Bucks just because same thing. I think they'll start better than they did in week 1. And Baker is still one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And I think even if like Emeka Egbuka isn't like a stud, I think Baker thinks he kind of is.
Baker absolutely thinks he is, and perception is reality.
Exactly. So I think Baker goes in, and Baker's most important thing is to have confidence, in my opinion. Of like, if he has confidence in himself and how the offense is operating, he's untouchable. But it's when he gets into like superhero mode that he gets himself in trouble. And I think having another guy that he really trusts is huge for him.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be better. But yeah, the offensive line that's with this pass rush group is very scary. And I agree that I think for the most part, Tampa's going to be able to handle that offense. Like they're still going to give up points. They're still going to play annoying Todd Bowles defense, but they match up decent. And the Texans aren't a special offense. Like that O-line is still a problem. And I mean, Nico Collins has disappeared a little bit for the last year.
They don't use them.
I know,
it's
and
crazy.
I don't know if that's a him thing, that he's like he doesn't know what's going on, or he's lost a step from some of the injuries, or him and CJ Stroud are fighting or what, but like we've seen him be elite. But even last year, like I know he was hurt for a chunk of last year, but like he didn't do anything. So like I don't know, and not having that clear-cut stud wide receiver like he had played like previously makes this offense a lot worse because they don't have great depth behind him.
Well, they do, but it's young, right? Like they're not playing the young depth. They drafted receivers in the 2nd and 3rd round, and the Iowa State guys, Jaden Higgins and Jalen Knoll, and they're not playing either of them. And Christian Kirk is hurt; he can't play. So yeah, so you've got bad receivers, bad running back. Sorry, I know it's Nick Chubb, but it's not anymore, you know?
No, I mean, he's old, man.
It's like in a zombie movie when like your pretty girlfriend gets bit by a zombie and she's still pretty, but like she's kind of fucked up looking and she's going to come and zombie you and you just got to shoot her. And it's like, it's not her anymore, man. It's not her. It's a zombie now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Nick Chubb, like he still can be a bit of a power runner, but like he just doesn't have that burst.
I hate to say it, but Ariante Ursary did look out fucking matched last week. Like he got a 41 PFF grade, and that's probably a little low, but like it was bad. I was disappointed. Now granted, that's against Jared Verse,
right?
Who's the opposite of who you want. Okay, so Ursary is a good mover. He's not that powerful. He's powerful, but he's not that powerful. So Verse is the kind of guy who's going to get his goat sometimes. What does that phrase even mean? Is that some Greek shit? Is that racialized? Is like, get his goat a racist phrase?
I don't know.
The thing about the Bucks. Oh, really? Maybe it's a Chicago thing. Not Hassan Reddick. Hassan.
I was about to say it's Hassan.
I got him mixed up with Hassan Haskins for a second. No, dude, it's fucking late. Hassan Reddick is a speed rusher. That's the kind of guy that Ursary is better at handling. Yaya Diaby is a speed rusher. Again, the kind of guy that Ursary can handle. He'll probably have a much better performance this week. However, the entire interior offensive line is dog shit. Laken Tomlinson was a C+ guy for years, and now he's fallen to a C minus. Their starting center got hurt, so they're going to roll Jarrett Patterson back out, and he's proven time and time again he's not really very good. And then Titus Howard is fine. So it's not a very good offensive line. The Bucs defensive line looked pretty decent against the Falcons. I think it'll be better against a team that they don't fear the run. I just keep looking at Servasia Davis, but you know what? It doesn't matter because they're not throwing the ball to Chubb. Even when Chubb was really good, you don't throw the ball to him. He can't catch.
No.
So you don't really have to worry about Servasia Davis. Like, what are you going to, Dalton Schultz going to fucking chop him up? No. The more I look at it, the more I convince myself I've got the better quarterback. I've got a better defense-offense matchup. I don't think the Texans are fucking good at anything except for pass rush.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and we're catching point.
Bucks.
Bet?
Half money line, half fuck +2, all money line.
I like it.
I don't know how many units, but yeah, no. I also don't know what the line is as far as money line goes.
Where are the odds?
All right, but like, you agree with that? Like, that makes too much sense.
Yeah, like obviously it could go bad. I mean, the Bucs O-line could get obliterated. Baker could have some bad turnovers or just look like he did in the first half of last week, and then we no longer have the better quarterback, and the offense is getting kind of blown up and can't do anything because they're under so much pressure.
By that same token, CJ Stroud scored 9 points last week against the Rams. The Rams are not a very good defense.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I agree with it, especially in a week like this where it's not super actionable, even though it's gotten a lot better as we've gone through.
Yeah, I mean, this last one seems like free fucking money.
Yeah, and actually, we do already have 5 picks.
I know. We're going to have a lengthy wrap-up section, unfortunately, when we might have to delete the entire podcast except the wrap-up because, yikes. I've been on one today. The Gen Z words melted my brain, turned me into a menace.
It's been a good time, but let's get to that last game of week 2. Closing out our double Monday, we have the Los Angeles Chargers going to play the Las Vegas Raiders. The Chargers are -3.5.
The You're Not From There Bowl.
Yeah, I know. I'd say the wrong city bowl.
All right. What's the number one weakness of the Chargers?
Coaching?
Well,
Wide receivers.
honest, yeah, it's wide receivers and O-line. Well, the wide receivers actually looked fucking good last week. Like, Quentin Johnson only dropped 2 balls. Keenan Allen knows how to play football, which is a huge upgrade from whatever the hell they were doing with DJ Chark. And Lab McConkey's good. Plus, like, you know I love Eric Stokes. He's fast. He wins with speed. He's always going to be near you. Keenan Allen's used to that. People are always near Keenan Allen. He's never been open in his life. He's just always open. He plays the ball well.
And Stokes can't play the ball at all.
Exactly. Or tackle. So I think that Keenan Allen's a perfect matchup for him because, like, to the extent that anything's going to work on Stokes, it's that shit. I also think that the Raiders defense is generally pretty bad.
Yes.
Every time the Patriots threw down the field, they had people open. Now, they couldn't hold up in protection, and they didn't do that often at all. Fucking Josh McDaniels. But, you know, point remains. Additionally, the offensive line is kind of shaky, but the Raiders only have one good offensive or defensive lineman. Everybody else is trash. So you just double Crosby wherever he is, and you're fine. Omarion Hampton, he stinks. He's a bust. He's too slow and not powerful enough to be that slow. He couldn't truck a fucking cornerback last week. That doesn't get better. You don't fix that. That is what it is. Other side of the ball, how did the Raiders score against the Patriots? Kind of just bullshit. I mean, they kind of didn't. They got 20 fucking points. They kind of didn't. And
they were throwing deep a lot.
They were.
Geno offense, though.
Dude, I really actually love this fucking game. I love the Chargers. They're -3.5. Fuck.
Yeah.
We could have got Alex. Why didn't we record the podcast Sunday night at 1 a.m. so that we could have got the closing line value and got -3? God.
Some of our other numbers would have been worse, though.
Is that true?
I think so.
I don't even know. Oh, you can still get -3 sometimes at -120. You're right. I don't think we need it.
Yeah, like sure it would be nice to have because it's a division game. It's early in the year. Like the Chargers are always ready to do some stupid shit and have an implosion game, but they're just a lot better. Like they just cleanly beat the Chiefs, and now they're barely a field goal favorite or just over a field goal favorite against the Raiders.
Yeah, this is what am I doing? The Gen Z
I
brain is
have no idea. I'm so confused.
The Gen Z brain is destroying me. It has nothing to do with the fact that I have been fasting most of the day and I played hockey and I moved and it's late and I have no more water.
Yeah, I think it's the Gen Z brain. I think you're right on that.
I said bussy and now I'm dumb. Bussy's gonna haunt my nightmares tonight, homie. It's bad.
It's like those old ads that were like, I smoke
this is your
weed,
brain.
now my
This is your
life's
brain
over.
on bussy.
It's like I said bussy and now I'm gay.
Dude, this is the best comedy podcast out. We're number one. And after the hour of us jerking ourselves off, we're about to spend 5 minutes actually giving you good fucking picks that keep on winning all the time.
You just gotta skip to the end, man.
I've thought about releasing the wrap up as its own separate podcast, but that's where we are. We're at the wrap up, and let me timestamp this real quick for all these poor bastards. All right, let's finish this shit up. Let's figure out our goddamn bets. Right now, let's kick out the jams. We have Philadelphia -1 over KC. That's a unit. I don't want to put 2 units on that game under any circumstance.
I agree.
We have LA over Tennessee -5.5. That's 1 unit. Again, I think that line is crazy. So we're gonna bet it, but like I don't want to put 2 units on a touchdown game.
Exactly. LA is definitely going to win, and I feel pretty comfortable about covering that, but 2 units is a lot for that number.
We got Jackson Smith in Jigba's a fake name over Cincinnati. Most of it on +3, some of it on money line.
1 unit total, though, right?
Yeah, I could double it. I really like that one.
I do too. It scares me a small amount, but I think it's the right bet.
So we have 3 bets. We need 2 more. Leading candidates are San Diego over Oakland, which actually is LA over Vegas.
Yeah, I feel like that one was in already, but
Hey, you speak Spanish. What does Vegas mean?
I have no idea. I think is it a geographic term?
I'll find that out. Damn it, we're supposed to be doing the wrap up efficiently, and I need to know what Vegas means so that I can say a thing.
Meadows.
So it's the Angels versus the Meadows?
Yeah.
Angels clearly win. They're animate. Okay. Yeah. Duh. Chargers -3.5. No, I mean, I will take, just fucking one unit. So we need 1 more. And then we need to figure out what our best bet is and if we're doing bonuses. Oh,
We have
Tampa.
Chicago and Tampa still.
Tampa, 1. On the money line. On the money line now.
Yeah, so we're not going to bet Chicago +5.5 at Detroit.
It would be the sharpest, fucking smartest thing to do, my dude.
I mean, we can do 6 bets. We have that freedom.
We have the technology. Our spreadsheets do have multiple columns and rows.
Cells, formulas,
Entering data.
analyzing spreadsheets.
Dude, I love that was a bit that I would do back in college when we were drinking, and now it's actually my favorite thing to do. Like, legitimately, I was date weekend last weekend. She was like, do you want to go to this fancy restaurant in this part of a town that's very, like, trendy and cool? And I was like, honestly, honey, no, that sounds terrible. I really, really, really want to fix my spreadsheets. I figured out a way to format them so much more efficiently. She looked at me like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I was like, you knew this about me. This predated you. And that's exactly what we did, dude. I baked cookies. We threw fucking movies on. She learned about ladies who got slaughtered by criminals. I learned about conditional formatting. It was wonderful. This is 30.
Everybody wins.
I also ate all the fucking cookies. I ate all the cookies. It was terrible. So we've got 5. Do we want Indy over Denver? Even for a schmeckle?
I mean, we could. I like that one. I mean, honestly, I like Chicago bet more than that, though.
I want to bet on Chicago just so I can say I'm super smart and cool and I bet Chicago because nobody else would like it.
I just feel like at that number, like, I feel like it's going to be a close game. And I feel like it's going to be a field goal or, like half a touchdown. They have to, where it ends up being 4 points or something. But
Alex, what's the number 6 thing we know about the NFL?
come on, man.
That nothing ever actually happens. Caleb Williams will not be terrible because it would be too interesting. Just like he won't be great. He's going to be kind of decent. He's going to be like flawed, but fine enough. Last week he was smoked ass on a raisin bagel. Disgusting. Smoked ass is also, it directly translates to bussy. Haunt my dreams. Last week he was smoked ass. He was bussy. And this week he's going to be solid. And all of my family will be saying, Joey, you fucking idiot. He's back. He's elite as fuck. Everything is great. And I will be saying, pure grist to feed the machinery. Did you listen to that song?
Chicago?
Yeah, we're going to throw a fucking half unit on Chicago, fucking half unit on Indy.
Okay.
And we're going to be so ballsy, we're going to take Chicago at 5.5 because I don't want to deal with people saying I line shop and I'm a fucking cheapskate or I don't know, words. Actually, it's -105, ain't it?
I see 108, but
These legal sports books and their bullshit, I swear. Are we not betting Washington over Green Bay?
I mean, we can, but I'm not in love with it, and we already have like 7 bets.
It would feel weird to bet on the Commanders.
It would. Maybe we don't, just so you can maintain that top hater spot for Jaden Daniels.
I need to stay a gold star lesbian and never touch the stuff. I'm a gold star Jaden Daniels hater, Ian. I've never once touched Jaden Daniels lines. games. Boy, we got fucking bets this week.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, typically when we hate the fucking card, we have really good weeks.
Little wood knob.
Does particle board count?
Yeah.
Cool. So I added that. I added that. I added that. Indy over Denver feels too obvious, but I'm going to do it anyway. We got a lot of underdogs this week.
Do we?
Kinda. Can you check the line on Indy money line, please? Damn, the odd man out is Minnesota over Atlanta. Minnesota.
The
Gopher
it's
State.
about plus 115.
Yeah, fuck them. Half a unit, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. Tampa and Houston are Monday night. Make that all chronological like. What? Dude, do the thing I told you to do. You fucking bastard. You ungrateful bitch. Why won't you listen? Merged cell. All right, man. I'll fix those later. We have 6 units bet, which is a little bit less than last week somehow, just because we're not. Oh, because we don't have a best bet. Dude, we need a best bet.
Well, we could always go back to the well.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's either going to be Tampa or Jackson. I kind of just wanted to say Jackson one more time.
Yeah, I think it's Jacksonville, Tampa, or Chargers.
I was going to say the exact same thing, dude. I don't know. If it was Chargers -3, that would be it.
Yeah,
But with
absolutely.
3.5 and a conservative coach, I don't know.
Okay, let's go through. Tampa scares us because it's Todd Bowles. Baker looked rough in the first 3 quarters of that game, and the offensive line is a bad matchup.
Counterpoint:
San
the offensive line
Diego's
the offensive line can't look worse than it did last week, simply because last week they got bodied so thoroughly that it doesn't matter if you're a better defensive end. Once Leonard Floyd beats a block and is in the backfield, he's just as effective as Danielle Hunter or anybody, because the hard part is done. So Baker has already proven he can handle that kind of pressure.
Yeah. Then Jacksonville, since he scares me because that offense could click, the Browns defense classically gives them problems, and it might be back to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins just consistently move the sticks, and then one of them has an explosive play. And, Jacksonville should have a better offense, but it's still Trevor Lawrence, who is famously inconsistent.
Yeah. No, he didn't look as good as I expected him to last week either.
Yeah, and it's a new offense, but it feels like we've kind of been saying he's just getting comfortable with Trevor Lawrence for
No, he's not. He's not
career.
real. He's not real.
That
That motherfucker is not real.
Between those two, I would rather do Tampa because I feel like I have more confidence in I know what Tampa and Houston are, whereas Jacksonville and Cincy both have a few more questions to what are they going to be. But then San Diego, I mean, it's really just the number, and then it's a division game.
But
because
dude,
they looked incredible.
If I told you Mike Vrabel was coaching this Chargers team, would you fucking lay 3.5?
No.
Then we can't make it a best bet because it's the same fucking question.
All right. So to me, it sounds like Tampa is our best bet yet again.
Fuck.
Which scares the hell out of me because it's week 2 and we made Tampa a best bet twice and we hate them.
Last week I thought we wouldn't have to hate them again, but this week I realized we do.
Yeah, I mean that one's a scary one just because of the variability of how Tampa can play. But I don't know. I mean, it feels like the best in terms of number and talent.
Oh fuck, I forgot their Monday night. I'm looking for any reason to support my bet. We're going against the public, or I mean against the sharps with the public. The line is probably moving away from us.
Well, it's probably going to a 3, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. Fuck. So we're getting not CLV, it's not sharp. We're betting on Todd Bowles, and it's our best bet.
I mean, we could also just not do a best bet this week because I mean, I don't love any game this week.
Me neither. This is a bad week. Man, fuck it. No best bet. We gave you several underdog money lines, no best bet. We got 6 fucking units up there. Got you 7 bets. Yeah. No best bet. I'm sorry. I want a best bet, but I can't make. The other day I was walking to New York, being cool, like I do, and some dude came up to me and said, "You excited to watch your Bears tonight?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, because I was wearing my Blackhawks hat, as I do, and he said, "You think you're gonna win?" I said, "Man, fuck no." He said, "You hopeful?" I said, "No, not at all. I got money on the Vikings." And he was like, "What? Why?" And I said, "Because reality doesn't give a shit what would be hunky-dory for me. My feelings do not shape the world. I would love if the Bears won, because my parents and my siblings and my cousins and my family and my friends would all be really happy and my city would make money. But that's not going to fucking happen. And I'd love to give you guys a best bet. But there's not a best bet to be had. If given the opportunity to eat at an all-you-can-eat buffet of dog shit or arsenic, you should fast. And so we're going to fast. Bets are Jacksonville +3 for 0.75 unit. Jacksonville money line for 0.25 unit. I guess that would be a quarter of a unit. LA, the real LA, -5.5 over Tennessee, 1 unit. Chicago over Detroit, plus 5.5 for a unit. Indy over Denver in the Battle of the Ponies, money line for a unit. Birds over Chiefs in the Super Bowl Redux, 1 unit. And finally, the San Diego Chargers of LA over the Las Vegas Raiders of Oakland and also LA, minus 3.5, 1 unit. That's our bets. Fuck you. Bussy, please bet on football games. Asta.
Tampa over Houston, money line, 1 unit.
What he said. Bussy.
And Phillies -1.
Bussy.